Okay, first of all, this review is long overdue. I know I should have done this sooner, but let's just say I had a lot of stuff on my plate, and I've been getting into recent shows, like I've been getting into shows like Star Wars Rebels and Gravity Falls, so I know I'm really late, but let's just finally get through this. This is Power Ponies. So the episode begins with Twilight sleeping, only to be waking up with Spike reading a comic book.
Spike, you really need to go to sleep. Aw, 2 more minutes, Twilight. I'm just getting to the really good part. The Maniac is about to... Maniac? The Power Pony's most evil nemesis.
So, yes, as you can probably tell right off the bat, this is going to be a superhero-related episode.
She was the power mad owner of a hair care products company. A tragic accident at her shampoo factory in Meritopolis not only gave her main strange new powers, but also caused her to go completely insane.
Yes, and she does this as like a lot of supervillains because science.
She and her hedge ponies are planning to break into the Meritopolis Museum and steal the... Believe me, Spike. Good night.
So, through out of kindness, So, out of kindness, Twilight lets Mike read. Look. So the next day after the opening, the main six continue working at the castle of the two sisters, and the main six don't really need Spike's much help as he goes to read the comic book.
Maniac breaks into the museum. Okay, here we go.
But when Spike is about to finish reading the comic book, he finds something strange.
Surprise! Humdrum is in the way again while the Power Ponies do all the work. I guess I know what that feels like. Wait.
But before Spike can even finish reading the comic book, he finds out that a page is missing.
What? How can that be the end?
But finds a little note at the bottom.
Retry. What? You can return? I know I saw a magnifying glass lying around last time I was here. Spike! Where are you, Spike? We're breaking for tea and biscuits! Bye!
Does he even like tea and biscuits?
You can return to the place you started when the Maniac is defeated.
Well, that seems kind of vague since we don't know any of that. Oh, that. And then we find out that the comic book actually comes alive and opens a portal and sucks everybody in. So it's Spike.
This Meritopolis?
So Spike is the first one to realize that they've been sucked into the comic book, and he becomes what's-his-face with the cape and such, and the main six become the Power Ponies.
What is going on? Holy new personas, ponies! You're the last Matterhorn!
So, yes, the main six are basically the Power Ponies.
30 seconds! Zap! Radiance! Mistress Marvelous! Sound Racer! You're the Power Ponies!
So, like I said before, this episode basically is sort of a concept of superheroes. Basically, Matterhorn is, I'm gonna say, like, Superman and such. Zap is, like, Thor. Billy Seconds, the Flash, has this Radiance, I think, is Green Lantern. Oh my god, why do I keep forgetting? Oh my god, I'm really getting sloppy. So, I'll try to figure out what... but, big surprise, they eventually find that the Hair Maniac, which is actually real.
Join us, huh? she just call us Power Ponies? You're the superheroes from my comic book. They somehow got us all in here. Some ponies that was back out. My comic book. It said the way to get back to where we started was to defeat the maniac.
So, yeah, so it's basically just like the book said. Our heroes are trapped until they can actually defeat the maniac. Which is gonna be kind of painful because, pretty much like some supervillains in earlier generations, the maniac is gonna be saying a lot of puns. Basically, think of the puns that Captain Planet says. It's that painful, for the record. But that's just me.
Your arch nemesis. Time for the main event.
Yeah. Yep, Jehovah's Witness. So as the maniac attacks our heroes, they try to show off their superpowers.
Vicky, where'd she go? She could be miles away from here by now. Vicky is Philly Second, the fastest pony in all of Metropolis.
This. And as I said before, Philly Second is pretty much the equivalent of the Flash. Wow. I got nothing. So, yeah, the main six don't really know how to use their powers all that well.
Twilight, freeze her main! You what? You're the masked Matterhorn. You can shoot all kinds of crazy power beams from your horn.
And as I said, the masked Matterhorn is pretty much the equivalent of Superman. So, yeah, the main six aren't doing so well.
Beginning to enjoy this.
And that laughter is really starting to get old. I think maybe it's just because I'm tired, but why is it that the maniac as a villain is just really underwhelming? And considering how in comic books we get villains like Joker, Lex Luthor, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, and so forth, it's kind of underwhelming to say the least.
Dash, quick, your staff, and your superpowers controlling the mighty force of the picture.
And, by the way, I should also point out to know, when I first saw this episode, I thought basically all the superheroes that the main six were supposed to represent were basically off of DC superheroes. However, since Rainbow Dash is Zap, who, as I said, is pretty much the pony equivalent of Thor, it's kind of misleading, because I thought basically the Power Ponies were like the Justice League, but it's like, no, instead we got 2 Marvel superheroes and 4 DC superheroes. So you do the math, people.
Unholster the lightning bolt!
And of course, again, formula, they try to use their powers and they don't do too well. Yes, Fluttershy is Saddle Ranger, who is basically the equivalent of the Hulk. Again, I think it's kind of misleading considering the fact that it should be based off the Justice League, but instead it would be like if the Justice League had 2 Marvel superheroes in their group.
Monster! Oh gosh, that was very correct. Rarity, use your jewelry to create a attack construct. What's an attack construct?
We're doomed.
Just think of something, anything, and your great position appear.
So, yeah, as soon as Spike gets to...
Raising experience.
Oh my god. Wow, we're only 9 minutes in and already I hate this villain. Okay, I wouldn't really say I hate the Maniac, because honestly, I can think of much worse villains. Louis Sucker from the Top Cat movie! But, as I said, she's just completely underwhelming, and given from somebody who actually watches a lot of superhero shows like Batman the animated series, and Superman, you kind of guess where I'm going with this, right?
But I really must be going.
And of course, the cape is about as useless as shit.
Why, thank you, Hum Rub.
Oh, humdrum. Yeah. So basically this episode already tries to teach the moral about somebody who thinks about himself being useless but has to learn that he can be a help of... Okay, yeah, that sounds bad. I'll get to the moral when we get to it. So the maniac gets away and is chewing the scenery.
I'm humdrum.
You know, why is it that Spike can't just, like, ditch the cape? You know, as Edna said, there's no capes! So, yeah, so pretty much they leave the area all...
Connected to it! Where do you want to go? And it'll obey you!
So, yeah, I'm not going to actually say the superhero names because, honestly, I find them to be really confusing. So Applejack is pretty much the equivalent of Wonder Woman, pretty much.
Let me get this straight. We've been sucked into some kind of comic book world. Technically, it's called Metropolis.
And technically, that's basically the answer.
And if we want to get back to Ponyville, I think we have to stop the maniac from using her doomsday device to destroy it.
Which is what exactly?
No biggie. I was already awesome. And now we've all got superpowers.
Yeah, even though a few minutes ago you basically proved that you don't know them too well.
Almost all of us have superpowers. But you must have them too, Spiky Boo. The character is wearing a cape. Yeah, for absolutely no reason.
So then why don't you take the cape off?
It's pretty much useless.
Good thing you're not really humdrum then.
Yeah, good thing.
So the 6 of us Power Ponies will take care of Maniac and get us back to Ponyville. Spike, where is the Maniac building her doomsday device?
Her top secret headquarters. But you better get there quick. That glowing orb she just stole is what she's going to use to power it up. Lead the way, Spike.
Then leave the rest to us.
Wow, well that's pretty harsh, Rainbow. Nice going. So they basically find her hideout is a shampoo factory? How can nobody figure out that she's in there? It's pretty much... You get the idea. Insert Nostalgia Critic's Batman Robin review on Mr. Freeze's secret hideout. I mean, seriously, would someone even know she's this evil? Would someone just take a look?
There it is. Is that a shampoo factory?
Yes, because heaven forbid, the shampoo factory isn't totally obvious if it hasn't had any blinking red signs saying, "There's the villain's hideout, there's the villain's hideout, we're evil, the villain's hideout is right here."
All right, Power Ponies, here's the plan. Rarity, you mean... Come on out, Maniac!
And Rainbow Dash botches it up.
Ponies are coming in!
And spoiler alert, they get captured.
What do you just say about that?
Fluttershy, please, just a little anger?
Well, I'm not so much angry as I'm concerned.
Wow, it's like if the Hulk basically had a cowardly side. Oh my god. Maybe it's just me, but I think this might be a major problem for this episode for me. I feel like that a lot of times the writing seems incredibly underwhelming for me. Maybe it's because I'm just tired, but again, the writing just seems incredibly underwhelming and forgettable that I swear it's like they're not even trying with the superhero concept. And we're going to get that later. Oh, and speaking of which, I'm fully amazed how the Power Ponies are able to master their abilities after just one fight scene.
Were they not terrified?
They're the ones with superpowers. They've probably already figured out how to escape.
You do realize that they got sprayed and they can't move. Yeah, I forgot to mention, mentioned that the Maniac basically uses a giant spray can thing to spray the main six and basically make them immobilized. And the effects last for an hour, but apparently they have a timer. Remember to keep them mobile. Seriously? You've got to be kidding. Well, at least give her this. At least the Maniac knows how to plan ahead about her side effects.
Congratulations, Power Ponies! You shall live just long enough to see me fire the instrument of your destruction!
It's just a giant blow dryer. Yeah, unless it's a blow dryer fires a laser or a flamethrower, it's not really much threatening.
My electrical orb has powered it up completely. This cannon will amplify the power of my name 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, I've come across other villains who actually know how to amplify their powers, and if I recall, there are even some villains that can take some of their cohorts and turn them into giant super demons. Oh yeah, I went there. And I'm going to get to that soon.
Expelling an energy blast that will cause every pony in Metropolis' name to grow wild!
This Maniac may be the dumbest genius who ever lived. I mean, so what? She basically makes everybody's main crazy and causing them to beat themselves up? Not exactly threatening. I mean, seriously, couldn't they just get like, oh wait, that would probably work like the barbers too, and the hair would just beat himself up too.
You will be my weapon's first victim, and there is no pony who can save you from this thing!
I don't mean to interrupt, but...
Okay, wait a minute. How is it that she's able to stun them with a gas thing? How is it that they're able to immobilize them, but they can still move their mouths? I don't get it.
Forgetting about some pony?
Humdrum, little guy, no superpowers whatsoever. He's utterly useless!
Yeah. You can pretty much make the same argument for Robin, and he can still kick your ass. And speaking of which, Spike actually is one of the few things...
When my friends really need me, I do come through. And they need me now.
So yes, we get one of the greatest moments that Spike has actually done to actually make me forgive him for what he did in Spike at Your Service.
Tonight, we stand
He sneaks by...
for freedom in the name of oppression, and nothing will stop us!
yeah, and Spike actually makes himself useful and rescues the main six. So, this is actually one of the few pluses I can give this episode. Not since the Crystal Empire has Spike actually done something useful that can actually make me feel sorry. That can actually make me think of him as a character now.
Way to go, Spike!
And now we get to the fight scene. So yeah, so now the main six are free, and now it's time for them to kick some ass. And I guess it's time for me to talk about the fight scene. I know it's MLP, but considering that we already had a fight scene in a Candlelight Wedding, I could be expecting so much more. And I know they're supposed to be using their superpowers to their effectiveness, but the scene is less like superheroes and more like a Power Rangers feel to it. It's not bad, but it's just kind of misleading a little bit. I mean, what I would do is play the play to the 10th power, play the fight scene between the Galaxy and Space Rangers against the Psycho Rangers, listen to the music in the background while playing this episode at the same time, and you can understand where I'm going. Look who's talking. Again, I'm fully amazed that the main six are able to understand their full potential of superpowers after just 3 fight scenes. And of course, they can take down the goons like they don't know how to do shit. And the Maniac is just standing there. What the hell?
Fluttershy, where are you going?
You seem to have everything under control.
Fluttershy, we need you. You have to power up.
I'm sorry. It's just that nothing is making me mad.
I smell irony.
Oh, goodness. Are you okay? Are you kidding me? I know you're evil and everything, but you hurt a teensy little harmless firefly? Really?
Wow. This is how a Fluttershy being angry is done. Take that, putting your hoof down.
But you're just a great big thing!
And you know what time it is.
What makes you think you're so special? Like the rules that call the courtesy don't apply to you? Why don't you pick up someone in your own side?
Told you that laser was useless. Oh, shut up. Oh, God. Shut up! So, of course, Earth, they beat the Maniac, and they...
How did you... We had a good half second before we got sucked back out of the comic, and the Mere Chocolate Bakery was only 65 blocks away.
I'm just glad to be back.
We wouldn't have made it without you, Spike. And I hope you realize that just because we don't always need your help, it doesn't mean that we don't think you're helpful.
And that you don't have to have superpowers to be a super friend.
None!
But I do have one question. Where exactly did you get that comic book?
This one I got in Canterlot at the House of Enchanted Comics.
So, this entire time this comic was enchanted, did you not read the signs?
I didn't know it meant they were literally enchanted.
Let's just wrap this up.
I thought it just meant, like, the comics they sold there had really enchanting storylines.
You know, it doesn't make much sense, right?
Wait up! I'm an important part of this team, remember?
And the comic apparently appears, and that was Power Ponies. I don't know if it's just me being tired, but... I don't know. Personally, I feel this episode was... So far, it's not the worst episode of Season 4, but this episode was just underwhelming. Sorry, hang on a sec. I'm not feeling too well. Give me a sec. I'm sure you could probably hear me from here, but forget it. I don't really know what I have to say about this episode. I'm sorry, I really need to bring this up again, but the whole superhero concept just felt really underwhelming. The writing was forgettable, the animation, while impressive, was forgettable. Oh, the villain was underwhelming. The moral, while actually perfect for Spike, it just felt underwhelming for me. Granted, it's not bad. Again, the animation does look stunning. The superhero references were nice, much better than the mysterious mirror duel. And the fight scene, well, kid-friendly, was still good. But as a whole, Power Ponies get to see. It's not a great episode, but if you're a superhero fan, you can watch it. I'm FlutCam Gamer, and I'll see you guys in that.